Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Imam Al Mahdi and End of Times. Last time we talked about that Imam Al Mahdi's name will be Muhammad, and his father's name will be Abdullah, and his mother's name will be Amina. He will be from the children of Fatima and Ali, and he will be from the descendants of Imam Hassan radiyallahu anhu. Today we'll talk about some more details of the times when he will come forward and he will be revealed to the world, called Zuhur of Imam Mahdi. Before the Zuhur of Imam Al Mahdi, there will be a man by the name of Yazid bin Sufyan. He will come from Damascus, modern-day Syria, and start killing the Ahl al-Bayt, the descendants of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Soon he will establish his kingdom in Syria and Egypt. When Yazid bin Sufyan, also called the Sufyani, will establish his kingdom, he will take help from the tribe of Banu Kalb. In these times, Banu Kalb are mainly settled in Syria and its surrounding areas, and are also found in Jordan and northern Saudi Arabia, especially by the Tabuk region. Similarly, they are also to be found in the Najd and around Riyadh. Similarly, around the same time, three groups of Christians will form. Two will unite and will fight against the third one. The two united groups of Christians will conquer Constantinople, which in Arabic is called Qustantunya. At that time, the ruler of one of the larger Christian dominion will move his capital to Syria. At that time, the defeated Christian group will join hands with the Muslim army, and there will be a massive war between the two united Christians and the defeated Christian army and the Muslims. Muslims and the defeated Christian army will defeat the united Christian army, and at that time, another dispute will arise. A man from the Christian side will claim that we gained the victory because of Jesus, and Muslims will say that we claimed it because of Allah's blessings and mercy on us. This matter of dispute will cause another war. In this fight, the ruler, the king of the Muslim army, will die, and Christians will rule Syria and its surrounding regions. And all Christians, even those that they were fighting before, whom they defeated, they will also come and join hands with this new leadership of Christians. And Christians with one united front will come against Muslims. And they will start expanding their kingdom to a point where till Khaybar will fall under the Christian rule. At that time, Muslims will look around for a new leader, and at that time, people will start looking for Imam Al Mahdi. They would want him to become the leader. At that time, he will be in Medina, but he would not want to rule Muslims. He at that point will leave Medina and move to Mecca so that people do not approach him. However, one day during Tawaf, people would recognize him and will tell him that we have no other person to lead us but you. So people will start taking the bay'ah, the oath on his hands. And also remember, at that time, some people will claim to be Mahdi and they will be false Mahdis. The bay'ah or the oath will be taken between Hajar Aswad and Maqam Ibrahim in Makkah al-Mukarramah, in Bayt al-Haram. And one of the signs of him would be that the year prior, there would be two eclipses in the month of Ramadan. One will be a solar eclipse and the other one will be a lunar eclipse. However, the dates of those solar and lunar eclipses are also very important. If you're interested, we can talk about that particular narration in detail. After the oath would be taken, everybody who would be present at that place will hear a voice coming from the heavens, and it will say, هذا خليفة الله المهدي فَاسْتَمِعُوا لَهُ وَأَطِيعُوا. Allah has sent a Khalifa for you. This is that Khalifa Al-Mahdi. So listen to him and obey him. At that point, he will be 40 years of age. When the news of Khilafah will spread and will reach Medina, an army from Medina will come and join him. Similarly, people from Syria and Iraq, specifically the awliya and salihin and abdal, they will come and join hands with him and will take his oath. The treasures that have been built over the years shall now be spent on the needy and poor, and every deserving one shall receive share from that treasures. And at the time, a man from Khurasan will bring a massive army to support Imam Al Mahdi, and anybody that will come in his way to stop him from the opposite side shall be finished. When this army is coming, the front of this army, the commander in general will be a man by the name of Mansur. And at that time, Sufyanis will take help from the Banu Kalb tribe and will send an army to defeat Imam Al Mahdi. This army will move towards Mecca. As it would reach between Mecca and Medina, it would be spending night in a very open plain, when overnight the entire army will sink in ground, except for two men. One will run towards Imam Mahdi and other one will run towards Yazid bin Sufyan to inform both parties of what has happened to this massive army. Similarly, a man by the name of Hirath will also send a massive army to support Imam Al Mahdi, and this army will be coming from Ma Wara'un Nahr. Just so that you can understand the demographics of which region is called Ma Wara'un Nahr, I would like to share with you some details. In English, this region is called Transoxiana. And as you can see, this region is a region that is found between the two rivers, Syed Darya and Amu Darya, when they are falling in the Aral Sea. Syed Darya is also called the Jaxartes, and it's a river in Central Asia. The name is a Persian name, and the other one is an Amu Darya, which is also called Jehun in Persian, or in English is also called Oxus River. So to understand the Transoxiana, you need to understand where it is located. It is located in where the modern-day eastern Uzbekistan, western Tajikistan, parts of southern Kazakhstan, parts of Turkmenistan, and southern Kyrgyzstan. This name was first coined by Alexander the Great in the 4th century BC, when the news of the Sufyani army getting sink in ground will spread all over the Arabia. More and more Muslims will come and join hands with Imam Al Mahdi. This would be a time when this news will spread to the Christian kingdom of Syria. That would be a united Christian front, and then they will start gathering another massive army. They too will call for help from the entire Christian world, and a massive army will be prepared to attack Imam Al Mahdi. All this massive Christian army will gather in Syria. They will comprise of 70 flags, and under each flag will be 12,000 men. As if these will be the armies of 70 different nations. And a simple math of 70 times 12,000 tells you that this army will be an army of 840,000 men. That means it will be close to 1,000,000 men army. Imam Al Mahdi will leave Mecca and will first visit Medina, because Medina is north of Mecca. When you're heading for Syria, it comes in the pathway. So Imam Al Mahdi will visit the holy city of Mecca, will visit the Masjid al-Nabawi, and will make dua at the Rawda of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam before heading towards Syria. When he would reach near Damascus, that's where the war will happen. Imam Al Mahdi's army will be divided into 3 groups. One group will be the one that with the fear of death will run away from the battlefield. When they will look at the massive Christian army, they will run away. And these are the worst of men. The second group will die fighting this army, and the third group will be the one that will be alive and victorious. The details of war are such that on day number 1, Imam Al Mahdi will come out in the battlefield to fight against a massive Christian army. Muslims will have a great setback the first day, and majority of them will die in the battlefield, and only a handful of them under the leadership of Imam Al Mahdi will return back. Next day, another massive group of Muslim army will enter the battlefield. Again, majority of them will die, and only a handful of them will return back with Imam Al Mahdi. Then again, the third day, the same thing will happen, and Muslims will not be able to defeat the Christian army. Finally, on the last day, a Muslim army, which will be smaller in number than the previous days, will enter the battlefield. And by the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this time they will conquer the Christian army, will defeat them, and will take the Syria from the Christian army, and the Christians will run away from the battlefield. And then the booty of the war will be spread among the Muslim army, but no one will be happy because majority of the people would have lost almost all family members in this war. After that, Imam Mahdi will establish his kingdom and will start ruling it with justice. Law and order will be maintained, and people will be given their dues. After that, Imam Al Mahdi will head towards Constantinople, which is in modern times called Istanbul, and he will send a massive naval fleet to conquer the city of Constantinople. When they will get near the city, by will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that city will also be conquered, and the Muslim army will enter the city and regain its control. After that, Imam Al Mahdi will again re-establish the remaining remnants of his kingdom. But at that time, a fake news will start spreading through the Muslim world that Dajjal has come out and he is destroying Muslims. At that time, Imam Al Mahdi will send a few men in different directions to confirm the news. Prophet ﷺ said, "Those men, I know them, I know their names, I know their forefathers' name, I know their mothers' names, I even know their tribes, and I know all the details about those pious men, as they will be among the best on the face of earth at that time." These men will go in different directions and will come back and tell Imam Al Mahdi there was a fake news that was spread only to bring the morale of the Muslim army down. After that, Imam Al Mahdi will continue working towards establishing his kingdom and strengthening it. And after a few years, indeed, Dajjal will show up. But during these years, Imam Al Mahdi will not only fix the affairs of the kingdom, but will also strengthen and organize his armed forces. And at one of the times of the prayers, when Imam Al Mahdi would be about to lead the Muslims in prayers, Isa ibn Maryam, Jesus, son of Mary, will descend down from the heavens. And this time Imam Al Mahdi will ask him to lead the prayers. This would be in the city of Damascus, near the minarets of one of the masjids. Isa ibn Maryam will refuse to lead the Muslims in prayers, rather will ask Imam Al Mahdi that you continue to lead them, as my coming is only to take care of Dajjal. So Imam Al Mahdi will continue to lead Muslims in prayers and also the Muslim leadership. Imam Al Mahdi's total duration of leadership is not more than 10 years. Majority of that time will be spent towards organizations of the Muslims, and then towards the later part of his ruling time, Sayyidina Isa alayhi salam will come, and there will be a war with the army of Dajjal. Dajjal will be killed, and then within a year of Dajjal getting killed, Mahdi will also pass away. expected to be around the age of 49. Isa alayhi salam will lead the Salatul Janaza for Imam Al Mahdi, and he will then be buried. And then the leadership of the Muslims will fall in the hands of Isa alayhi salam. All of these details have been gathered from several sources of hadith and the research done by the ulama, and this is just the summarized or the concise form of that research. Inshallah, we will talk about Dajjal and some other things. If you're interested, you can let us know in the comment section below. Till next time, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.